I wanted to live each day like it was my last.
Mike Savicki is a former Navy pilot, triathlete, and 5-time division winner of the BAA Boston Marathon. He's the only person to have completed the marathon by foot and in a wheelchair.
Sports filled a huge void. It gave me freedom, it gave me pride, it gave me a sense of belonging, it gave me a sense of not only being disabled, but being super able.
Mike has always been driven to excel. In high school, he was a 3-sport varsity athlete and eventually enrolled at Tufts University on a Navy ROTC scholarship. After graduation, Mike was commissioned an officer and began flight school.
The first time you put on a uniform and you wear the stars and stripes, something kind of comes over you. It's empowering. You feel a bigger sense of pride.
Mike began training to become a Navy pilot, something he always wanted to do.
It was me living the dream. It's a feeling of speed, of liberation, of freedom.
But one day, all of Mike's dreams would come crashing down on a Pensacola beach during a routine training exercise with his flight school class.
So it was a Saturday morning, November 3rd, 1990. I arrived on the beach in my red sports car. It was my own little Navy jet. A couple hours later, went to dive into the ocean, something I had done hundreds of times in my life. But this time I went to dive under a wave and the wave broke and pushed my head down and I hit the bottom.
The force of the wave broke 2 bones in his neck, paralyzing Mike instantly.
All of a sudden I couldn't move anything from below my shoulders. The weight of my body, I started to sink. So I went from thinking, how am I going to catch up to my friends? How am I going to keep swimming to, how am I not going to drown? How am I not going to die?
The shore was only 10 feet away, but Mike was alone.
But it wasn't until a helicopter landed on the beach right next to me and they strapped me onto a backboard that I realized my life was never going to be the same.
The strong, athletic Navy pilot would now be in a wheelchair.
Things got really dark for me. There were times that I just didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to be a part of society. I just didn't think it was my reality. I spent months wallowing in pity, thinking, why me?
But his attitude would turn again when he realized he could gain back his independence through driving a vehicle.
And I remember one of my therapists coming into my hospital room and throwing a set of car keys on my bedside table and said, okay, I think it's time that we go driving. And my eyes lit up. It gave me that sense of freedom that I thought had been stripped from me. Getting back on the road was not only an avenue for me to get back into society, it was a chance for me to rediscover something that I loved, and that was sports. I'd be doing it differently. I'd be doing it in a wheelchair. But getting in my vehicle, loading it up with my gear, heading to a practice, heading to a race, I started to find myself again.
Being able to drive gave him the independence he originally lost.
I've driven my van from coast to coast, from north to south, to races, to marathons, hand cycling events. Getting on the road, getting to the sporting event, for me, that's part of the whole experience. I love it.
Mike is on a mission, letting people know that a disability doesn't have to slow you down and that you can achieve more than you could have ever imagined.
My disability has really transformed and reshaped my life. I'm a husband, a father, an athlete, an advocate. You know, things that I never thought I'd be able to do. It's actually given me the opportunity to be more than I ever thought I was. A disability is not something that limits you. It complements you and it makes you more, makes you a better person.